Most people really don't think about senior care that much, and really don't understand what's the typical progression or the typical path that people go through when needing care in the home. And so today I just want to kind of walk you through what I have found in my experience. And of course, every situation is so different. You know, there's people that have dementia, there are people that have life threatening diseases, and you know there's all these variables involved, but and unfortunately not everybody has the same financial ability to have private pay caregivers in the home. So I'm going to be talking about people that primarily do have a budget for that sort of thing, and most people want to start and stay all the way through any sickness in their home. And that, I don't think that's going to come as a great big shock or surprise to anybody. And typically what they're going to do is they're going to start with 4 hours of care. And maybe they choose to do that 3 days a week, or maybe sometimes 5 days a week. But it's very common, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 8 a.m. to noon. That's where people typically get started with caregiving. And that's usually a bit of a difficult transition for people to give up that control that they have over their private time. The second level of care that we often will see is maybe between 8 and 12 hours of care. And this is usually a pretty big deal, right? I mean, that can start getting expensive for folks. And we often will see this happens at night because they have a family caregiver during the day, but they need nighttime coverage because the person's getting up multiple times a night. And the caregiver during the day doesn't, we're not equipped to stay up 24/7, especially as we age. So if it's a spouse, if it's a son or a daughter, they have work or they have other factors in their life, this can get really tiresome and can create a lot of friction, right? You don't need a grumpy caregiver. Number 3, and I give it like a 3A and a 3B. So 3A is 24-hour care at home. We rarely see this for people that haven't invested really well in real estate, haven't just done really well financially for themselves, or they were smart enough to go and get a long-term care insurance program many years ago. And so when you have those types of things going for you, then 24-hour care does come into play. When you don't, then typically that opens it up to placement. And if you go back to category number 2, where you're getting 8 to 12 hours a day, that's kind of comparable to what it would cost you to be receiving 24 hours care in a facility or in a community. And there's a bunch of different types of communities. There's communities for people that have memory problems, and then there are communities for people that are still trying to remain active, but they need some level of care. So I can go over all those things, but I just kind of wanted to talk to you today about where I see things and where people kind of start, they progress, and then where they really start having to make that decision is right around that step 2, where is getting that 8 to 12 hours a day. You have to really start thinking financially, does it make sense for us to start looking, at least getting the information on what type of residential care or assisted living options are out there. So hope that's clear to you. If not, give me a call. I'm happy to chat through these things. So give me a call when you get a chance and we will chat.